intoxicated, cruising down the road. Forward integrity. Forward integrity.
It's somebody's sobriety birthday today, actually.
Yes, we love celebrations.
Can we call Michele Bick up to the stage?
Yes.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Hey! Shout out Michele. So we're gonna test out a new little format here. Yeah. It's like a little rapid fire format. So as Michelle's coming up, just come on up. Come on up. Yeah. So fresh. What is up, sis?
Oh my God. All right. How do I fit in?
Welcome.
Hi.
How are you feeling today? Like 9 years.
9 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
And thanks for spending that part of that day with us.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah.
Always.
What do you got? Why are you smiling so big?
So grateful. I'm just grateful. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, these are my people. So, wow, where to even start? First of all, Michele has amazed me. Like I said, I believe we all have gifts. And, Michele reached out to Eric and I, just expressing that she wanted to connect and meet to discuss, an idea that she had. And we sat down at a coffee shop a few weeks ago and just discussed a little bit about this idea that I would like to talk a little bit about, if you're open to it.
Yeah.
In a moment.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one thing that was before we dive into the actual idea, one thing that was so amazing to me was just how articulate your follow-up was. Like after our meeting, it was maybe a week or a couple weeks, and then you had sent like what you called a charter, I believe, right?
Project charter.
A project charter. It's apparent to me that one of your gifts is like organization and structure and vision development. And so what is your vision for Sober Voices? Can we just get that out there and have some of this on camera, please?
Yeah, vision or inspiration, or like where are you feeling with that?
Sure. In essence, you guys have already started what we wanted to start steamrolling for Sober Voices, right? Which you guys just kind of fell into, starting doing the podcast and starting doing the interviews and just capturing your guys' conversations, right? And that's really what I wanted to kind of go off of, and that's why I wanted to meet with both of you anyway, right? Is to continue that, right? And actually start maybe even documenting it beyond podcasts, right? So capturing the interviews, because we know all of our recovery stories are going to be different. They're all unique. They're all amazingly beautiful in their own way. And when I shared mine last time we actually had met and done my interview, that's just one of the aspects that we wanted to kind of take and steamroll and get more of those stories out there, right? So that was the whole kind of essence. The initial vision of Sober Voices was to not only do the interviews that you guys are already kind of conducting, right, for that podcast version, but also create a book series out of it, right? Start actually capturing that in real black and white published series and actually output that more towards the public with the underlying premise is to break the stigma, right? And to start normalizing sobriety, right? That's it, is getting more of those voices out there in a different platform and various platforms. And it's already being done, right? So like book formats like David Goggins, he then goes into a podcast version of his audiobook, and just creating those different platforms to reach different people, right? Because everyone learns differently, and having that kind of book series, depending on how it would steamroll, is not only to get more of those voices out there, the different stories, and start breaking that stigma, but providing on different platforms for everyone to actually grasp. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think alongside of that too is, yes, like number one is breaking the stigma, but number two is like also kind of providing a really broad spectrum roadmap for people that can see what's been successful for others in like long-term sobriety, right? So if we're interviewing people that have kind of like we've talked about on other episodes, have like closed that chapter of their life and they're not looking back, they know that they're good. How did they get there? Right? And there's a lot of different ways to get there. And I thought that was the really intriguing part for me is, sharing the stories of people that have been successful so that others can like relate and then see what worked for them.
Yep.
So I think that's really, really cool. And we have such a diverse community with different backgrounds and different stories, but they all kind of had like a similar just like spiritual moment or some kind of awakening where they're like, okay, like I need to do something different. So I think that's the cool part of the idea there. And just be really cool to have a book.
Yeah, and be able to connect those dots sometimes.
It's all in one place.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yep, 100% agree. Yep.
Nice.
So what's working for you? Like 9 years under your belt. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we shared a little bit last time we had talked, how my sobriety story even came out and came to fruition in a long time, and kind of going off what we were just talking about and what you were just mentioning, Eric, is words are powerful, right? Speaking these stories and actually hearing or reading them is actually very powerful. Giving your story and your disease before that a face and a name, right? And talking about it instead of being shameful, we're going to hide it, we don't want to talk about it. These are real people. These are real stories. There's hundreds of these stories, right? And that's really where we want to kind of take that series, So when we had talked last time and shared my story, my, I guess, sobriety journey, January 11th, 2016, was a little unique. We kind of connected on the same level, I believe, Eric, in regards to that. When that instantaneous moment happened for me, that person that day, died. That person that came forward, I wanted to put so much time from that point on. That person died. The person that you see sitting in front of you today is who came out of it, right? And so there's probably lots of variations that, worked for me for the last 9 years. But in that moment is what really actually came to fruition that worked the most. It's just crazy to talk about when we kind of recap back on how that happened, and not to go back into that entire story right now. But generally when true change happens, and in that instant, that's exactly what happened for me, there's a shift that happens. And whether you go towards spiritual side or quantum physics side, they'll say the same thing, is that once that true change happens, that person before actually never even occurred or ever had a drinking problem before that. Right. Like, it's kind of crazy. So like now when you say like what has worked for me the last 9 years, that person that came out just never had a drinking problem before that. Oof. For that true change to happen. And granted, that's why for many years I tried searching again for stories or an outlet for that, to try to see, do people have, or has this ever occurred to another person before? Or maybe I'm just going crazy and I had this weird instantaneous keystone moment where I saw myself in a third party, point of view through a cell phone and a selfie, sitting in a hospital gurney bed, and I'm not sure if I really answered your question. It's a little hard to answer, but that's the majority. And obviously, community, right? I'll always go back on that, is finding people that are, where I gravitated towards was fitness, but finding more people with that same story that they also gravitate towards fitness for their recovery. That was huge to see people, regardless if it was the same starting point as me, utilize that to continue a better outlet and a better life afterward. So that's been key, right? So,
and like, what motivates you to keep showing up for the community today, even though, you've been on the other side of this for 9 years? Like, what makes you want to like get out of bed in the morning and be a part of a recovery community and be a part of a project like this?
Right. It's really just helping the same people with the same similar stories as I do, right? At the end of the day, that's it. And to know that it's possible, right? So you want to be a part of something saying, like, I am one of those examples. And I know many other people that are true examples of the same thing. And you find that passion in it, right? And I talk about people all the time, and we touched upon that a little bit as well, is that eventually, hopefully, when I do leave the government, that's where I want to go towards full-time, right? Because that is a passion. I'd rather wake up every morning, have a true ownership of what I'm outputting towards my hours in a day, is helping others with that same similar story and that background towards things that worked for me, and maybe even more outlets, right? Because it's possible, right? It's not going to look the same for everybody. But to be a part of that and to see that true change happen for them as well, like that's what I would like to capture. It might not be as instantaneous as my moment, but it could be gradual, and you can see those moments. You can probably see that in coaching as well when you have people in your CrossFit gym too. And those small moments where you see inspiration and a smile underneath them, you know, and that's impactful, right?
I think I really wanted to get sober a long time before I actually like had that moment for myself. And I felt really, really alone. I felt like no one would understand, because I knew I'd have to walk away from all my friends that were all using. I knew I'd have to like basically like rebuild my identity around something else. So for me, I think that would be the most powerful tool if we can get that in the hands of people that are just kind of curious about like, how do I do this, you know, or how do I step away from this life, you know, into something else. So I think that for me is the really cool idea, or like the thought process behind this idea, is that there's potential to get that in some people's hands that maybe are just starting to ask the question.
Amazing. I love you guys.
Yeah, we're really lucky. This community here in Arizona is amazing. I've had so many folks that just like continue to show up, that continue to be the living proof, to be the example, and to be really just excited and ready to hold a hand out and like pull somebody else up if they need it. And the people that are in this room are like key in that scenario for me. So I'm thankful for all you guys for being here.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. Change is real. You're living proof.
Y'all are. Yeah.
If you could leave us with one final word of inspiration.
One more.
Oh my God.
What would you leave us with on your 9 years of sobriety?
9 years of sobriety. I think I wrote that on my post this morning for it, just to recap. And I don't post anymore, right? I'm not really active on social, but every year when this comes around, I'll at least repost something just to try to be that visual change if people can see that, right? And I mentioned on there that change is possible. And if you're struggling, you know, reach out because you're worth it, right?
That's right.
It's very simple. It's, you know, but it was to the point. And again, I just wanted to recap and have one of those types of visual outlets that people can actually see. And I've seen a lot of that in my, at least friends that have come through. And just think of many others that you could touch, just to have that data resource in a different format.
So cool. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for allowing me to share my second birthday, you know, here. So it's perfect. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I love Michele.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. I'm excited to see that project unfold. It's gonna be amazing.
Me too.
I was sleeping through my days. I'd bet top dollar that you done the same. Yeah. Was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Wake up. Okay. What's up? I think it's time we make a change. Yeah. Wake up. 5 in the morning, I get my faith up. I'm swinging my legs up at the bed for something greater.